Hi, Natalie. Hi, welcome
Hey.
to a Women's Work Talk Show. Um, Tonight we are going to have an awesome conversation on this talk show. We are going to be speaking about thriving beyond trauma, a guide to overcoming obstacles and cultivating resilience for 2024, ladies. So, hi, I am trauma addiction recovery coach Sonia, and tonight I will be hosting our YouTube Live, a Women's World Talk Show. But before that, let me introduce you all to Coach Natalie so she can introduce herself and tell you all more about how this is going to go on tonight.
Hello, beautiful souls. I am Natalie. I'm the CEO and founder of She's Taking Her Life Back, as well as a dedicated trauma mindset coach. And I just want to share with you ladies that it is my mission to support women who experience trauma by helping them break free from their self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging behaviors, and unhealthy relationship patterns, and to discover their unfulfilled purpose in the next stage of their lives. With my extensive background spanning 32 years as a board certified addiction counselor, as well as a certified anger management specialist, and coupled with my experience with trauma recovery, because I did a lot of studying over the years about trauma. I believe with the combination of all those things that I can bring a wealth of knowledge to our discussions. So I'm looking forward to really having talks with you each week on our show. I'm just so grateful to have personally triumphed over 35 years of addiction recovery, which I celebrated on yesterday. It was December 25th, actually, of 1988 is when I had my last drink and my last use of substances. So I'm excited about that. All those things, including my history of domestic violence, my history of childhood sexual assault, all of that keeps me rooted and relatable to who I serve. So together, I want us to foster an environment of open and honest conversations as we embark on a journey of growth, healing, and transformation. So I want to welcome you to a Women's Work Talk Show. I want you to really know that this is not just a show. This is an interactive experience, and your active participation is at the heart of it. So here's how you can join in. Okay. I want you to know that I'll be actively monitoring the comment section. So jump in, ask a question, leave a comment. You are always welcome to participate. I'll be looking for you in the comment section. I also want you to say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because we, Sonia, we love to hear from where you're living. Where are you? We're here. I noticed, Sonia, we never share about where we're at. I just noticed that.
Yes.
So just so you know, we are here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from New York City, but I moved here like 17, 18 years ago. So I call myself a New York City girl living in the Georgia world. So we're here in Atlanta, right? The second part of what I want you to do is participate in a live Q&A session. That is your moment to shine. You ask any questions, share your thoughts, provide insight in the live chat. Our team is here to engage with you, and we want your input. And next part I want you to stay tuned for is any announcement that we may have, because there are some shows that we're going to be sharing some exciting news and updates as we come up with them. And there's a lot that's going to be coming up with this new year, so pay attention to the announcements. Next, I want you to know about our resources and our tips. On some of our talk shows, we may provide valuable worksheets, tips, resources related to our discussion. So don't hesitate to use these tools to enhance your understanding and your personal growth. We want to hear your voice. What topics would you like us to explore in future episodes? So share your ideas in the live chat. Your input shapes this show. So this is our show. But that's not all. If you would like to join our live and be a guest on here, the screen, let us know. Tell us in the comment section, I want to come on screen with you. I want to interact with us. I want to ask questions. I want to share my experience. I want to share my thoughts. Let us know, and we will bring you up as one of our guests. And I'm going to share about next week's topic at the end of the show.
Yay.
So join us for the entire show, and I'm going to let you know what we're going to be talking about next week. And before I turn it over to Sonia, I just want to share something with Sonia about last week's topic. And when I had asked about think about 3 beliefs that you want to change, I just thought that was so amazing. So I started doing that myself during the week. So, ladies, if you're interested in hearing about, breaking through limiting beliefs, I gave assignment on the last show. So come on the channel, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification and the like button and share the live.
Absolutely.
Share our
Yeah.
talk show. But if you look at last week's live, you're going to get some interesting points on how to set your mindset up for where we're going in 2024. So thank you. Back to you, Sonia.
Absolutely. Well, let me introduce myself before I let you know a little bit about how tonight's talk show is going to go. Well, I am, for those of you that don't know me, I am trauma addiction recovery coach Sonia. And with my own personal experience of overcoming various traumas and navigating the challenging path of recovery, I am dedicated to helping other women in similar situations and committed to provide a safe and supporting space for my coaching clients to heal and grow. Okay, I do
Yes.
not treat addiction directly, but instead I do provide tools and techniques to help my coaching clients to develop resilience, self care practices, and support their overall well being. I also develop strategies for managing triggers and building positive coping mechanisms. I focus on empowering clients to live a healthy and fulfilling life beyond addiction. So, ladies, let me tell you a little bit about tonight's Women's Talk Show. I am so excited because this last month of December has been so epic for She's Taking Her Life Back in our YouTube live, and we have so much interaction and information and tools and techniques that I even been using on myself lately. I was like, oh, I do a lot of research, Natalie, and I do a lot of help, self healing and everything, and educating myself to continue being a coach. But it was like you said, some of the things we've been speaking, I was like, well, let me try this. When I go through a situation at my job, even if I'm driving and there's this car that is they beeping and they give you that road rage and you're
Mhm.
about to curse, and I'm like, okay, breathe, get back to where you at. It's not gonna, it's nothing's gonna happen, it's gonna be okay, let them do that. So it's really been working. So tonight's talk show, ladies, Thriving Beyond Trauma, a guide to overcoming obstacles and cultivating resilience in 2024. So we're going to discover strategies to conquer um, 3 common challenges that are hindering our goals. Okay. We're going to be identifying obstacles. We're going to be speaking a little bit about rebuilding relationships. We're going to be speaking about resilience and building strategies. So I have a lot of information I want to share with you all. Um, so join us and we're going to navigate this landscape of personal growth and transformation. We're going to provide insights and tools to overcome adversity and thrive in the face of 2024 challenges. So remember,
Right.
Natalie said, if you're watching from our Facebook live, remember to join in to our YouTube live and
Yes.
subscribe, ladies. Okay. So let me get to this, Natalie, because I'm excited. I've been all week. I couldn't wait for this for today. I
Yeah.
have
Sonia, I just got to interrupt. I'm going to
yeah.
embarrass Sonia again because I just think Sonia looks so beautiful tonight. Does she look beautiful, guys? I'm like, and she's wearing our brand colors. She looks so beautiful. I just got to say that.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Natalie.
Sonia.
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Um, well, on our segment first, I'm going to be talking about overcoming obstacles. So identifying obstacles, ladies. Okay. Sometimes we may ask that question. Well, how do we identify obstacles, right? Well,
Mhm.
by recognizing and acknowledging the specific obstacle that may arise in your goal pursuit. So whether they are external or internal barriers,
Mhm.
um, the first step for recognizing and acknowledging this is awareness, self-awareness.
Mhm.
um, Yeah, awareness towards effective resolution. Sorry, my bad. So I'm gonna give you an example so I can make it more clear, because sometimes we hear all these words. I used to be at the beginning when I started. She's taking her live back, following Natalie. I remember Natalie used to speak all this, and I was lost for a second. I was in my head. I was English, English, please. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Yes, we educate ourselves and we learn and we try, because that's why we're here. We need to be in that step ahead so we can coach other women.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I understood that I needed basic words and
Yeah.
information. Now I can recite more on it.
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm gonna give you an example. So when we experience past trauma, and I'm saying not just from personal experience, but like I do my research, when we experience past trauma, and then we go through the healing process, we go to therapy, we go to counseling, we go, there's still things lingering behind that trauma that we may not know, like
Mhm.
self-limited beliefs.
Mhm.
So we develop all this negative beliefs due to the trauma we've um we've been submitted to, either as a child, as an adolescent, or in an unhealthy relationship. And
Mhm.
one good example is something that I am very familiar with, and many of you might relate to this. That is, when you hear over and over that you're not good enough,
Mhm.
you're not good enough, or you're
Mhm.
never going to be nobody in life, or you always going to be you're never good in school, this person is better than you, your brother is better than you, and you hear all this. Oh, look
Mhm.
how your cousin is, and you hear how you're not good enough.
Mhm.
So we create this self-limited belief that we're not good enough. So when it comes to pursuing our goal, even though we're in that journey of transformation, there's that obstacle. And like we speaking right now about overcoming obstacles. There is that roadblock that even though you're trying to move forward in your career, even though you're
Mhm.
trying to move forward in that new relationship, and you
Mhm.
really know this guy is not the same and he's different and he treats you nice, but you have that roadblock because of what you heard before that was said about you and was planted here as a self-limited belief,
Mhm.
that we start doubting ourselves.
Mhm.
We start feeling like I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just wait, and you start believing it. So what happens then? Let me tell you. That's when we come up with the awareness. Begin by recognizing and acknowledging negative thoughts and beliefs. So when we acknowledge these negative thoughts and beliefs, and I know sometimes it might be hard because we have that self-limited belief that we've been put in our head. So that's when we challenge those negative thoughts. This is how I wanted to
Mhm.
give you these tools. I don't just want to throw in something and then just move to the next space. I want to make it clear to you that there are steps we take towards being able to overcome that obstacle. And it's
Mhm.
by cultivating resilience, like we say. So we challenge these negative thoughts. This is what I do. I challenge the negative thoughts. Once I say, why am I thinking this way? Why do I think that I'm not good enough for this job?
Mhm.
So when I start thinking this, I start saying, well, because I was told I wasn't good enough, but was that really true? Am I really not good enough? Because I work very hard. I wake up early every morning. I'm never late. I'm always there when they call me. So you start fighting back this negative thoughts, and then you start replacing them with good. Well, they told me this, but I'm actually doing this. So you replace that negative thought with, I am responsible, and
Mhm.
I am committed. So why am I limiting myself? So we have to break those barriers and break those obstacles that are roadblocks to us moving forward to pursuing our goals.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you catching up with me, Natalie?
That's good stuff. Yeah, things we talk about and challenged by a lot. Yes,
Yes,
that's
absolutely. And I mean, we got to replace this negative thoughts. And I encourage you to replace negative beliefs with more positive and realistic affirmations,
Mhm.
because that's one step to moving forward to overcoming obstacles. Most of the time, we don't want to get out of our comfort zone.
Mhm.
We are scared of that stepping forward and failing. But
Hmm.
it's okay. It's okay if you went forward and you didn't make it that time. We keep pushing, we keep thriving because we know we're going to be able to achieve our goals. And that's what makes us who we are and unique and strong, because we don't let we need to stop letting somebody else that put a thought that they're not even in our life. Even because I believe, even though many people say, well, this person is still in my life, we've talked about this, Natalie, in past. Sometimes we need to remove those negative persons out of ourselves, because those are those are obstacles right there. If they're
Hmm.
always bringing you down, if they're always judging you, we always talk about having a support network that works for you in what you're trying to achieve. If it's setting living a healthy life beyond addiction, if it's being in healthy relationship, breaking free from self-limited beliefs. So in order to break from these obstacles and overcome this, we have to cultivate resilience, ladies. So Natalie, anything you want to add up before I move into our next, which is going to be part of the first one, but it's going to be about resilience. I'm going to be speaking about resilience.
Cool. I just want to add that, you're right on, Coach Sonia. Like the first step in us making change is becoming aware of the fact that we need to make some changes and becoming aware of how we're thinking. While you were talking about it, I was just thinking about something, Sonia, that a lot of times that we often do without even thinking about it. When we thinking about doing something different. Like, let me give you an example, like you mentioned. There was a time in my life I said, I am so sick and tired of being with these toxic relationships. I'm so tired of these toxic men, right? And then I said, I want this kind of man. And then I even created a list. Ladies, have you ever done that? Made a list of Mr. Right, right? And even though I made this list, and even though I said I was tired of this toxic man, for some reason, I still kept connecting to toxic men.
Yes.
And I realized that that was because of fear. That was because of that message that Tonya said about in my mind. And let me be clear, as a trauma mindset coach, you're going to hear me talk a lot about the subconscious mind, because we don't consciously all the time know that we're actually sabotaging our lives or sabotaging relationship. It happens unknowingly. Somehow
Unknowingly.
we wind up picking this Mr. Wrong at all the men. We keep picking the same Mr. Wrong. But I also want to talk about how we consciously can do that too, that we are aware that we do it. Have you ever had a conversation with your girls, whether it was years ago when you were younger or whenever that was in your life, and you know that this man or this goal or this job or this promotion is something you really wanted to go after?
Mhm.
However, because you didn't feel good enough to get that man or get that promotion, what you did was bad mouth that situation. Like you would talk about the man like that's not even the man I really want. That's not my kind of man. That's not the he don't give me what I want. We start rejecting that, and we even with the job. You know what? I don't want that job anyway. I don't feel like being a supervisor. I ain't got time for all of that. We
Mhm.
start creating negative conversations around something like deep in our heart we really want, but our self-limiting beliefs and our mind told us that, you know what? Yeah, I want that man, but I don't think he's going to want me. Or yes, I want that job, but I don't think they're going to select me. So I just wanted to throw that out there, how we will put a negative spin on something we really want, but it makes us feel better about not going after that. Does that make sense, lady? If you can identify, put that in the chat.
Put one in the chat.
It's
Absolutely.
probably starting off good. This is going to be good, ladies. Go ahead, Sonia.
Absolutely. So, yes, Natalie, yes, I was saying, I want to speak about how do we cultivate resilience. Speaking about resilience and obstacles and emotional overwhelm, everything is part. I was just thinking because I started getting overwhelmed for a minute right now. Um, let me see. Let me get my thoughts together. Okay, there we go. I was trying to think what I want to speak about, because it's not like I just have it all figured out. So I know what I want to talk about. Resilience and building strategies. Okay, so mindset mastery, cultivating growth in mindset, viewing challenges as opportunities for learning and developing rather than insurmountable barriers. I'm sorry about my accent. Okay, I apologize for that. So sometimes we got to do some adaptive planning. So embrace flexibility, ladies, in approach to adjusting your strategies as
Mhm.
need to navigate challenges and stay aligned with your goals. Sometimes we need to align our goals, and I'm speaking about this because when we're talking about obstacles, um, we put all we don't, some people say we put all our eggs in a basket. We actually, like, we say, okay, this is what I want to do, and we focus on one thing, but we forget about all the other things that are part of achieving that goal. So if I say, let's say for me, I want to continue having my healthy relationship with my partner, right, my spouse, and I say, okay, well, in order to do that, I'm gonna spend more time with him. But just spending time with him doesn't mean that that's gonna work. I gotta make sure how we communicate with each other, because we can just be right there, but he can be on his phone and I can be on my laptop, or he can be
Mhm.
watching a movie, or he can be playing Xbox and I
Mhm.
can be on my phone, but we right there together. So we spend time together because we were both in the living room. But it's what we do. So sometimes we feel like I like personally, like in a relationship, we might be like, okay, well, we were there watching a movie, but he was really on his phone. He wasn't watching the movie. Okay. So we
Mhm.
start feeling like he's not giving me the time.
Mhm.
Or maybe he feels like we are not giving him the time because he was really not into that movie that you want to watch. So it's all about communication, having communication, open communication about what is intervene in that phase right now, even if it's a minor thing about, let me put it like this. Let me give you an example. Let me give you some example. Um, you want to go out. Your spouse don't want to go out, but you compromise to spend time. So it's got to be mutual. There's going to be obstacles where you might say you're tired from going to work. So there's got to be a commitment where we both got to decide, can we just stay and do something together as a couple, or can we reschedule? But there's got to be communication, because sometimes we start falling apart due to having other how do you call it, Natalie, having other personal um I am right now, I am
Other things
trying to
going
get
on, other situations going on in our mind. Is that what you're saying?
situations going on in your mind. And
Mhm.
as speaking of this, I'm talking about like roadblocks, like even if it's something from work and you bring it home. I mostly like to leave my personal stuff, but it doesn't always work like that. Natalie, it doesn't
Mhm.
always work like that. It might be so overwhelming that we bring it home, right? So let me just jumping into this, because I think I'm moving too fast and I'm getting distracted to what I really want to bring to the ladies.
Mhm.
So let me put it like this. I want to go back to, since I started talking, I had everything planned out. So I apologize to everybody that's on my live right now. I
Mhm.
want to speak about rebuilding relationships and reestablishing healthy relationships that can be challenging, like trust issues, damaged social connections, and the need to redefine boundaries that may persist, impact personal and interpersonal dynamics even after initial healing process.
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to get when I moved to resilience. I had a
Mhm.
plan, and I think I was moving
It's
too fast.
okay.
I was excited. So I apologize. That's my bad. So I
Mhm.
wanted to speak about rebuilding relationships and reestablishing healthy relationships. That's where all my thoughts were focused at that moment. So when we rebuild relationships, we mean um we talk about obstacles and how we can implement resilience and building strategies. And speaking about moving to 2024, let's say in 2023 we already made goals and we set goals, but we weren't able to achieve all the goals because something was missing.
Mhm.
And we say we didn't went ahead and fulfill those goals because we had um self-limited beliefs. We
Mhm.
self-sabotage ourselves. And
Mhm.
that's what we're trying to get here, so we can break free and give you some techniques and tools how we can break free from those. So
Right.
a good example I can provide is self-sabotage. If in your past you were in an abusive relationship, and and now you're moving forward, and you already said in 2023, I'm going to try to have a better relationship with my partner, try to give me the opportunity to be in this relationship and be happy. But you still have the same trauma mindset from the past relationship where you feel that he don't treat me right, he don't love me, oh, he thinks this about me. But you're thinking, these are thoughts in our heads.
Hey, Sonia, what about this one? He doing the same one like the last man did. He
Yes,
doing the same thing again.
yes. And we start putting these thoughts in our head, and from one thing it goes to a whole, and you already have a whole story on your head. And he might be on his own world, and you turn around and he looked at you sideways, and you be like, yeah, he talking about me. Yeah, he thinking
Mm-hmm.
about me. And you
Mm-hmm.
already, so when he speaks to you, you're already angry.
Come
You're
on, come
already
on.
overwhelmed. So
Mm-hmm.
what do? We
Mm-hmm.
respond
Mm-hmm.
in a certain way that he might say, what is wrong with you? And then you feel like, there, I knew. There's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you? I'm right. And we start making this art. So we start self-sabotaging our relationship
Yeah.
because we still have past traumas.
Yes.
Even though we are healing, we really haven't moved forward from them. So
Mm-hmm.
what do? Cultivating resilience, ladies. That's what we're talking about. Healing,
Yeah.
healing and transformation. We
Mm-hmm.
have to, like, on the past live women's world talk show, I remember Natalie saying a lot about affirmations for ourselves. And I love this month because I've learned so much about, when Natalie was speaking, and it brought me back memories about when I used to see myself so ugly that I wouldn't even see myself in the mirror. Affirmations like, I am beautiful and I deserve better. And if
Mm-hmm.
he loves me and he's treating me right, and he ain't screaming at me and he ain't abusing me, and he always, baby, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you want me to get something for you when I come back from the store? Why is we so aggressive? Why is we trying to sabotage? Why don't we give
Mm-hmm.
ourselves that chance and opportunity to open our hearts? But with that, it comes also, of course, recognizing red flags, and knowing if it's really not. And sometimes we say, well, how do we do this? Of course, when we've been in unhealthy relationships before, we can see the signs. We can see the mistreatment. We can see the way they speak to us when they belittle us. Um, the way they speak to us, like if you're less of a person, like they expect, they demand. It's not a mutual thing. It's like, I demand you. Where is this? I asked you to do this. Why didn't you do it? So we know this. So how do we overcome some obstacles when we are having all this self-sabotage and
Mm-hmm.
self-limited beliefs?
Yeah.
Well, like Natalie said, and before, and I was thinking about giving you some examples in a minute of I'm gonna provide you with some examples in a minute. I don't know if they're gonna be kind of related, but they're gonna be some real good examples, but they're gonna have the problem and the solution in it, so I can be more clear on what I'm trying to say. So building resilience, affirmations for ourselves, um, breaking free from them self-limited beliefs. Stay tuned with us when She's Taking Her Life Back. Follow us on a
Mm-hmm.
Women's Word Talk Show so you can learn more about transformation. I used to think so little about myself, and I'm speaking um not too far long ago, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, and the transformation I've seen in myself, it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing because I love the person I'm becoming, that I become, and I have more change for me to come. I have
Mm-hmm.
plans, I have goals, I have dreams, and that's where I'm trying to get on 2024. I'm moving 1 year at a time, but I'm planning for ahead of time. I'm not just planning for 2024, because on 2024, my dreams and my set goals are planning ahead for 2025, 2026. I'm planning for my child. I'm planning for me and my spouse. I'm planning where we want to move. So we have all these plans that we're sitting down, and we've been talking about it, and it's not something that it's just December. Let's talk about it. We've been planning it, and now it's like, okay, it's December now. It's about to start. We about to begin with this new
Yeah.
year, and we're gonna embrace it, and we're gonna give it all we got. So,
Can I
Natalie,
can I can I interject?
yes,
I just have this example that I'm thinking of. I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to put Sonia on the spot
Ah, no.
because it's me, just me and her. But I want to give you like a real life example of how it's important to cultivate resilience. And we talk about cultivating resilience, we're talking about building that bounce back, being able to build that coverage that even though you kind of like slip into a little slip little backwards into trauma responses, that you still go forward, that you slip a little backwards, that you still go forward and you don't give up. That's cultivating resilience, and we're going to need that when we talk about overcoming obstacles, right? So I want to use this example. I have not mentioned this on the show, and neither has Sonia, right? Sonia just mentioned something that is an obstacle that she is cultivating resilience about, and that is the fact that for Sonia, English is a second language.
Yes.
English is a second language. So because of her accent, Sonia will say words, and then I can see her struggling to say words, right? One thing I love about what you have done over time, Sonia, that even though you go into that moment that you're struggling, you'll come out of it and you say, okay, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. And I love that about you. So as you were doing that, I'm like, that is cultivating resilience, because it could have been somebody, or it could have been Sonia that says, well, Natalie, you know what? Because English is my second language, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can go on the talk show. I don't think I can do a live. And she never said that to me, but I was always prepared in the back of my mind. I like, if she ever said to me that I don't want to do this because English is my second language, I'd have been like, no, we're doing this. We're doing it because as a coach, that's how we help people. We help you through those times when you kind of maybe slip backwards, go forward, slip backwards, go forward. That builds courage. That builds courage to go forward. So having said this, Sonia, how do you do that? Because like I said, you could easily say, well, Natalie, I don't want to do this but you keep moving forward. And Sonia has been on our team. I gotta count how long you've been on our team. But she was the last coach on our team. She has come so far. I mean, I'm watching her today like, wow, I remember when Sonia started. But Sonia, you had to overcome some obstacles. Like you said, we are always going to become overcoming obstacles. So how did you cultivate that resilience? As no matter what, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on showing up. How do you do that? Because that's a real life example.
Yes, Natalie. Let me tell you a little bit about how I do that. I do push and motivate myself because I feel like I've already been stuck in that space where I limited myself, where I let everybody else decide for me. I let people stop me from doing what I wanted to do. When I was in my unhealthy relationship in my marriage, I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things I wanted to do. Even if my ex-husband had a visit, he wanted me to go to the room, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird to me because you're out with women, men, partying, all this, coming home late. But if you have a visitor, I gotta go to the room because, or if I came out and I was like, oh, somebody asked, oh, do you have something to drink? He'd be like, oh, why you had to come out? You know, it was very, it was certain behaviors that didn't make sense to me, and I felt like I let so much people take so much from me, even the part where I couldn't even visit my family as much as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I, as I was put a lot in my head, as whatever happened in my childhood, and then as I grown, you you share this you share this trauma with the person that is supposed to love you and
Mm-hmm.
protect you, but then they use it against you.
Mm-hmm.
They use it as in, oh, you see, they weren't there, but I was there. I'm here for you. And you
Mm-hmm.
believe all these things that they're putting on your head. So when I finally came over here and started doing my healing, and how you say, it wasn't easy for me to build resilience and break free from a lot of this self-limited beliefs, even like my accent, even if she's taking her life back. I was
Mm-hmm.
still thinking about when I first started, when you invited me, I felt honest truth, because this is what it is, the Women's Work Talk Show. Here we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna speak the truth, and we ain't gonna sugarcoat
That's
nothing,
right.
baby. So I'm
That's
gonna
right.
be honest. I said I give it 3 to 6 months. Once if it don't work out, I didn't lose nothing. I'm just And I even told Ronald, my spouse, I was like, well, baby, he was like, because he kept motivating me to do more this, do more that, because he felt like I was still self-sabotaging in our relationship. I was
Mhm.
still having my breakdown tantrums and, oh, I'm leaving and all this. And he wanted me to find that healing. He always been wanting the best for me, but I didn't see it that way. I just thought he just wanted me to be this person because that's what he wants me to be, but I don't want that. And that was
Mhm.
my mentality. But as I started, Natalie, I started learning all these tools and techniques. And even though I feel like our spiritual life coach Julia, I was like, she's so good. She be speaking so, like is fluently, and everything she says, it goes with it. And then there was the other team members that you had, and I was like, I don't even know half of these people. I need to know them. I don't think I'm gonna get there. And I kept, but I was like, but I want this. And how bad did I wanted it? I wanted to help other women that had experienced trauma. I wanted to help other women that had experienced addiction due to trauma. So I told myself, I'm doing this because this is what I want. This is what I need to do. But it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work, ladies. It wasn't easy. There was times where I just felt like I wanted to give up. There was times where I felt like, you know what, Natalie gives us tasks. Natalie is like having homework. Natalie, we be on Zoom meetings, we be planning for the week ahead, for the month ahead, and Natalie be we having our meetings. We're not just like, oh, once a week we come on and do a live and that's it. No, we have meetings, and we send emails and we send documents, and Natalie be on it. So Natalie will be giving us, I say, homework because, hey, did you plan ahead for this? Do you already have your video ready? Have you been? And I was like, I just got off work. How she want me to do this? I told her I wasn't off to the next day, and that was my. But then I said, my husband said, well, just do it an hour a day. Just do 30 minutes when you get off work. And he motivated me, and I was like, once I did it, I started saying, Natalie, this is what I want. And this is what I want. And I'm going to make it and I'm going to do it. So I started telling myself, there is nothing stopping me but myself. There is nothing limiting me but my mind. So I had to continue telling myself, if you want it, if you put the work on it and the dedication, and it don't matter what, you keep pushing, you're going to get there. It's one step at a time until I climb the whole ladder. But I'm still here, and I am thinking about being where she's taking her life back for as long as Natalie decides that she's taking her life back. And I love this woman talk show, ladies. I love it because we are able to speak openly and be honest. And about my accent, Natalie, I think you're muted. Are you muted?
I
Oh,
am. I was talking to my grandson. Go ahead.
and I'm gonna tell you right now, my accent sometimes it gets on my nerves because you have those people at work that sometimes you say at work and they try to correct you. And
Mm,
before it used to make me feel a certain way, like you say,
uh-huh.
that's what it's called, cultivating resilience. It used
Right.
to make me when somebody would correct me, I would feel like a child being scolded. But
Hmm.
now when they tell me, I'll be like, your accent is different than mine. I understand half of what you're saying, but I still say okay. So
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Hmm.
but this is my accent and I ain't
Yes.
changing it for nothing.
Yes. Yes.
So one of the words they tell me, Gigi, where is the store at? And I'm like, Tucker. And they laugh at me. They're like, it's not Tucker, it's Tucker. I'm like, it's Tucker to me when it comes out of here, it's Tucker. So it's Tucker, Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you. Like Sonia said, we're going to, especially with me, we're going to bring up some real life stuff, and I
Yeah.
think people can learn when you bring up real life stuff, and that's a great example, Sonia, of you being resilient because it could easily have caused you to say, you know what, this has been 3 months. I'm at it. She's taking her life back, and we are so far past the 3 months mark.
Definitely almost 2 years now.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you, Sonia. You are just awesome. I've always loved your passion. That's why I asked you to join the team. And you have grown so much as a result of cultivating that resilience. And Sonia says about me, when one thing I love about Sonia is like like you said, we do a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yes.
She's gonna learn. She's gonna say, "Oh, okay, that's the issue. Let me go do some research. Let me go. Like now, I know somebody can help me with this. She's gonna figure it out." And I love that about you, Sonia. And again, that's cultivating resilience. That's saying, yes, I have this obstacle, but it's not gonna stop me. I'm gonna be around good support. I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna research. I'm gonna do whatever. But our self-limited belief, we're not allowing it to keep us down
Absolutely.
anymore. So thank you for sharing a real life example,
Of
Sonia,
course.
because you have been resilient.
Thank you. Thank you. And well, I wanted to share some examples of obstacles and challenges, ladies, with you all tonight, and some solutions. So I want to share some examples of let me see. One of the obstacles may be emotional overwhelm. When we emotionally overwhelm ourselves and we feel frustrated. And I'm gonna give you one of my personal examples sometimes. And it's not. I have my child. My child was recently diagnosed with autism. Me and my husband, we love our child. My husband helps me a lot during the day. He works from home and he's doing school besides because he about to get his bachelor's. So watching my husband. Yes, he'll be graduating around February, March this coming year.
Wow.
But he helps me a lot at the house with our child because we're waiting for him to get into his treatment and his therapy. So hopefully I'll be coming up soon. So I have to work a full shift, and sometimes as being an assistant manager, it's not just an 8 hour shift. I might go in at 7 in the morning, get off at 6. I might go in at 9 and don't get out till 7. And sometimes it might be that the person that was supposed to come and close the store called out, and as an assistant manager, it's not call somebody and say this person didn't show up. It's if there's no backup, you have to stay and close the store. So emotional overwhelm. Sometimes I'd be at work and it'd be so much. We'd be short on staff. People, call us things that happen that ain't got nothing to do with nobody's fault. It's just, hey, this person didn't show up today. This person is sick. So you put through work, then you come home, and then I gotta do. She's taking her life back, and then I still spend time with my family. But when I come home as a wife and as a mother, I prepare a hot meal for my husband and my child and me so we can eat together. Put my baby on his high chair. We eat together as a family while we watch a movie. And then I go to, okay, baby, now I'm going to do an hour of she's taking her life back, or I got to do my post for tomorrow. If I don't have nothing to do that day, I like to do some reading or research, like I say, educate myself. But sometimes I'd be overwhelmed from stuff that happened at work, personal stuff happening with my family in Texas. Even if my mom over here, she's having some surgeries and everything. So it'd be all that emotional overwhelm. So let me tell you, what do we do when we get a lot of emotional overwhelm? Well, this is one of the solutions I commend you all to do is practice mindfulness and emotional regulations techniques to navigate and
Awesome.
process intense emotions, fostering a resilience mindset. So I do the breathing and I love it. And I always say, for some people might say, oh, she always brings this up. I'm sorry, it works so good. It really works. And mostly when you do it the correct way, don't that's not gonna help. That's not that's just gonna get you irritated. It's just gonna get you irritated. And I know because when I was just learning, when they would tell me to breathe, I'd be like, that was not breathing. I was just muffling air out of my nose, mad like this.
But at the same time, you breathe and you're like, this is not working. This is not working. You're
No,
thinking that
I was
it's
like, I was
the wrong
agitated.
way.
But if you breathe,
Yes.
hold, and
Yes.
release, and then
Mm-hmm.
you continue doing it, you hold, and then you release, you're gonna start feeling your whole your brain regulating, your body, your
Yes.
muscle loosening up. You're gonna start feeling that calmness,
Yes.
and you're gonna notice a difference. You're gonna feel like, okay, this is helping. Okay, I feel
Mhm.
calmer. My anxiety is gone. My palms used to sweat a lot. They don't. When I feel like my palms are sweating, or I start doing this, my husband's like, "Baby, what's wrong?" My hands are sweating. He's like, "What's wrong? What's bothering you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just feel overwhelmed or anxiety." And he's like,
Mhm.
"Just breathe, baby." And I breathe. And then I'll be like, "Ah, baby, it worked." And I'm like a child with him, be like, "Baby, it worked. Look, my hands ain't sweating no more." He's like, "Okay,
Mm.
baby." Good. So yes, use some of these techniques for your mindfulness and your emotional well-being. Just use some breathing. um Sometimes I do a type of meditation too. I close my eyes. I just try to focus on the color and just focus on that color and just try to listen to something focused. Like if the air conditioner is on, I just want to listen to that. I don't want to listen to the TV or nothing, no surroundings, no nothing now. So just put yourself in that calmness mode that you want to put yourself, so you can start regulating your breathing, regulating yourself and your
Mhm.
emotional well-being. So that's one. Now
Okay.
I'll give you
Good
another
one.
example, okay? Another
Mhm.
obstacle that we might come upon is external challenges, financial difficulties, or unexpected life events. And
Mhm.
we never know when we're gonna have that call that says, "Hey, somebody is really ill in the hospital. Or we just lost a family member."
Mhm.
So it's unexpected events, car accident. We
Mhm.
don't know really, but we know what an unexpected event is. It's something that we weren't prepared for.
Yeah.
So those are external challenges, financial difficulties. We never know when they say, "Hey, something happened at work. We're shutting down," something like that. "Hey, you know what? We're gonna let you go because sales are not good." So
Mhm.
those are external challenges. So
Yeah.
let me give you a solution for this. For a solution for external challenges is develop proactive planning and coping strategies, such as creating a financial safety net or building a support network
Mhm.
to mitigate the impact of external challenges. So have a backup plan. Have a
Yeah.
backup plan. Um,
Mhm.
always have, always say, your network, your support network, um, the people that you know that are your support group and your network. When a challenge like that comes, you need to have that support group that you know that can give you the advice that you need, that
Yeah.
can help you through that process, through um, that moment of challenge of the situation that you're going. So if when we try to do it on our own, sometimes it becomes overwhelming. It becomes over challenging.
Mhm. Mhm.
It becomes that we start putting more and more into us, and it stops. And it can take us deep down a roller coaster. But that's where we don't
Yeah.
want to go, because we might go the wrong path, even if it's
Mhm.
back to something. So even if it's back to going back to any traumatic event, like, oh, this happened again, and again I lost everything and nothing makes sense. I did everything for nothing. It's not. Let me tell you this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I don't try to sound mean or rude or nothing. I'm just saying it will not be the end of the world. Trust me, ladies. Trust me. Because I heard somebody said one time, and I'm be honest, and this is stuck in my head as I was a child. I don't know what I saw, Natalie, and I promise you, I still use this as an example. I think it was when you see a real life show or the news, or it was a news. It was this young teenager that happened to lost her life being incarcerated due to taking somebody else's life. And
Mhm.
it's weird because it stuck in my head. I think I was around 12, 13, because at that age I had the suicidal thoughts and everything due to my depression and everything at that age. And I
Okay.
remember I was watching this, and I was so, because she was young, and I was like, I don't know if it was someone I knew from school or it was just something random, but Laredo is small. So it was, and I remember her words were, and they were in Spanish, but I'm gonna say in English. She was like, I didn't know. And when they questioned her, like, what do you mean you didn't know? You killed this other person, right? This other girl, your
Mhm.
friend. She was supposed to be your friend. She said, because she didn't get caught like that. It was like an investigation. They were friends,
Okay.
whatever happened. And she was already, you know, some years, something happened. But she said, I didn't know you lived through it. That was her response. Like,
Oh.
so
Oh
it
wow.
always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. Like, sometimes,
Mhm.
and that's one thing that made me stop, because I was like, whatever. When I was like 13, and that was my one of my last attempts, I tried to hurt myself at that age. I
Mhm.
remember that stayed with me, because I was like, well, maybe I don't know that I can live through whatever I'm going on. And
That's
it
deep.
stood on
Wow.
me until
Wow.
this day. That's still,
Mhm.
and I don't remember if it was. in the news, like I said, if it was somebody I knew, if it was just some, but it stood with me that response that she gave. I didn't know you lived through it. Like she thought, her life was over. So
Mhm.
she did this in retaliation, but then she continued, and then her life ended because, of course, um, I remember that the case was something about being she was getting incarcerated, but it stuck with me, Natalie. And I'm talking about when we're talking about external challenges and everything. Sometimes we think that it's the end of the world. We can't
Yes.
see through it no more. I
Yeah.
love my parents. I can't do this no more. How am I? If I told this to my daughter, I'm gonna put this as an example. My daughter just lost her father a year ago in
Sorry to
Thanksgiving.
hear that. Wow.
In Thanksgiving, and we just had a conversation. I think I spoke with Natalie about last time in our life. I mentioned I was able to help my daughter, speaking,
Mm-hmm.
giving her some advice, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
she mentioned to me, "Mom, I don't know what I would do if I lose my grandma now. That's the only person I have left." Like, and I was telling her, "No, you have family, but I understand the bond you have with your grandma because her grandma is actually the person that raised her as a child when I was going through all this tribulation stuff, being incarcerated, my addiction, my separation with her father and everything. The
Mm-hmm.
best solution that we found for her as being a girl, and I'm staying with the boys, it was that she was better. She stayed with her grandma. There's no situation that she would be hurt or in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter loves her grandma. That's her mama. So she was like, Mom, I don't know what I would do. And I was like, baby, you're going to be okay because remember, now you have a child. So
Mm-hmm.
now you have a child that your baby is looking for his mama. So you
Yeah.
can't think like that. So I want y'all ladies to keep in mind that even though we may have some unexpected life events
Mm-hmm.
or financial difficulties that you may think is the end, there's no no thing that can tell you that there is no coming through from that. We just got
Yeah.
to find, like I said, the solution. So create a financial safety network. Put a little savings aside. If like I said, if I spend $10 on cigarettes, I can stop spending them $10 on cigarettes and put those $10 aside. And trust me, in a week, that's $100 right there. With $70, $75 in a week. Imagine in a month, and we have, 70 and 70. That's 140 and 140, $280. So
It's up.
safety net, yes. Put
Yeah.
something aside, have something planned ahead of time in case bad times come. You always have a backup plan.
Yeah. I got to interject because my mind is still
Go
on
ahead.
something you said a moment ago. I'm like, wow, that's so powerful. And what I'm saying is so powerful when you heard the young lady said, I didn't know I can get through it.
Yes.
Wow, that is something that resonates so much in me. I like chills are going through my body because
Yes.
I've learned on my journey over the last 35 years. Along the way, I learned that one.
Hmm.
And in the world of recovery, we call it this too shall pass.
Yes.
And I've cultivated, and that's cultivating resilience.
Hmm.
When you get to the point where stuff happens, crisis happens, things you don't expect, and you're able to get through that,
Hmm.
that builds up
A
a
lot of
tenacity.
yes.
And I've built it up so much. It's so funny that I could be going through something like some crisis, and I'll get on here and do a talk show. Nobody would know.
Hmm.
Nobody would know. And that's because over the years, what I've done is like, okay, this is a crisis that's happening
Hmm.
right now. And I'll remind myself, well, Natalie, you went through a crisis before, you went through something else before, and each time you got through it. So every time it comes, no, it doesn't feel good, but it doesn't allow me to get stuck.
Hmm.
Because years and years and years ago, when we go through stuff, we'll say, well, I can't do it right now because I'm going through something and I can't do this right now. I'm going to have to stop doing this. I'm going to have to stop working on my goal because I'm going through this. I've cultivated so much that yes, I go through stuff and I may take a short pause or I may just keep it moving. I will keep it moving because I know I will get through it. Even
Absolutely.
though it doesn't feel like it at the moment, my mind tells myself this too shall pass. And it always does. Think back in your life. Every crisis you
Absolutely.
had, it passed. Thank you. That I just had to I had to say that because
Absolutely,
I live
absolutely.
by that, Sonia. Thank you.
Yes,
That's nice.
absolutely.
Hmm.
And the last obstacle I want to share with y'all ladies, it's self-doubt and negative thoughts. Self-doubt and negative thought patterns. Okay.
Hmm.
So what do I mean with this? Self-doubt. We just spoke to this, we just spoke about this when we were speaking about challenging negative thoughts, you know. So
Hmm.
self-doubt, when we start doubting ourselves, them self-limited beliefs again, when we start saying we're not good enough, oh,
Yeah.
that's not for me. Oh, I don't deserve that. I deserve this, when we belittle ourselves.
Hmm.
So we start getting all this, and it becomes a pattern at a certain point. It becomes a pattern because we get used to it, and we're
Yeah.
so used to it that is just normal to us.
Hmm.
So so we got to break that cycle. So let me give you a solution when it comes to self-doubt and negative thoughts. So a solution is, I commend you to implement positive affirmations like we were speaking about earlier. um Tell yourself positive affirmations like, I am good, I do deserve, and this is what I want, and I'm gonna go for it, and I deserve it, and I declared, I always say, in the name of Jesus, this is what's gonna be, and I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna work through. But do positive affirmations, engage in self-reflection, and seek support from our coaches and community to counteract counteract self-doubt
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
foster more resilience and self-image. So our, like I said, coach trauma mindset trauma coach Natalie is right here, trauma
Hmm.
district recovery coach here.
Hmm.
And we don't just we're not just coaches that went in and got a certification or did some classes and decided that we just want to coach women and guide them through their life and their journey. We actually been women that have experienced trauma. We've
Yes.
walked this path. Like Natalie always say, we don't just do the what'd you say? You call it, Natalie, the walk?
We don't just talk the talk. We walk the walk.
Absolutely.
Walk
Okay,
the
there.
walk.
Natalie said because I didn't want to be stuck in that moment again. But yes, lady, we've been there. We understand what you're going through. We understand what you went through. We understand that
Mhm.
we all want to move forward. We we are here to help you find that purpose. We're not just here to, we want to coach you to find that purpose, to pursue your goals, to
Mhm.
be that better version of you, what you want, what your dreams are. Let us help you cultivate
Mhm.
resilience. Let us help you break free from self-limited beliefs. Let
Mhm.
us help you overcome obstacles and cultivate this resilience for 2024, so you
Yes.
can walk that path of transformation and achieve your goals for 2024, ladies. So we are here. Remember, if you are looking for a mindset coach, if you're transformative coach, Natalie is here to guide you. If you're looking for building a better building for your recovery, if you're on your recovery transformation and you need some guidance and you need some tools and techniques and you want to continue moving forward but you feel a little bit stuck or you feel like there's some setback, I'm right here, right here.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
here. All you gotta do is let us know, ladies.
Mhm.
Inbox, message us. Let us know. We have our coaching classes available for you all. We have worksheets, workbooks available. You just have to let us know. But we do have it. And I'm gonna tell you about speaking about tonight. I do want to give you also. I want to provide you with some tips on cultivating healthy relationships, and I'm gonna provide you with some practical keys, okay, for your relationships. We were talking about obstacles and overcoming obstacles and cultivating resilience. So I want to throw some tips when it comes, since I spoke about um,
Okay. Mhm.
rebuilding relationships. So remember, communication, like I said, when I'm with my spouse, we talk a lot about communication. Be open, honest, and clear in expressing feelings, needs, and concerns. Second, trust. Build and maintain trust by being reliable and transparent with your partner. Okay? So respect, value. each other's feelings, opinions, and boundaries. Okay. And also quality time. I always love that one. That one's one of my favorites. Spend meaningful time together to strengthen the bond that you both have. Those are some of my tips I wanted to share with you all tonight.
Right, I'm going to put it on the screen again. She said communication.
Communication, trust, respect, and quality time. I mean, I have many tips I can give y'all, ladies, but y'all gonna have to come back. I'm gonna
Yes.
give you a few right now because if I give y'all can just go back and rewatch this video, and then I won't have you back next week. So
Yep. Look, you got to come back.
we got more for y'all. We got so much
Oh,
information
yeah.
that we want to share, so much tools and techniques that we want to share with y'all. We want you to rebuild yourself with that strength and that resilience, like we always talk about here. And she's taking her life back because we are about embracing that new version of us.
Yes.
Natalie, anything you want to add up, Natalie?
Oh my God, I'm like, this was great, Sonia. Great show. I always review our live, but I'm gonna definitely review this one. This was a good one, and it kind of just plays into everything we've been talking about. Of course, in the month of December, we're preparing those who are viewing us who want to go to the next level in 2024. We're preparing you in December, and tonight's show definitely prepares you because even though we want to go to some good places in 2024, we're gonna face some obstacles, and you're gonna have to develop resilience, and particularly
Absolutely.
if you experience trauma. And I like one of the things that Sonia said. She talked about emotional regulation. Oh, I use that, and people experience trauma use that. And what that is when you're facing something uncomfortable and your anxiety goes up. And those who experience trauma know what that feels like. What emotional regulation does, it regulates, it brings your emotions back to a normal state. So you're not like this, you're more like this. And one of the examples that Sonia gave for emotional regulation is deep breathing. That's one of many. And like I said, Sonia said, it seems so simple, but it works if you do it correctly. And like Sonia said, we have so much more to offer you. So in the new year, you're going to be hearing a lot about our coaching packages, one-on-one worksheets, like you said, for sale, workbooks for sale. We want to seriously help the women out there because we believe, like, just coming on social media and just talking and saying, you need to do this and you should do this. I know for someone like me, or I used to be, and sometimes I could be when I'm chartering new territory, just telling me that is not enough. You have to teach me. You have to educate me on how do I do that, because I didn't have that skill set growing up. I wasn't given that. What I was given is I'm not good enough. So I have to learn how to take those steps. So I'll cultivate resilience. So when I go into my next in that new area and I get scared and I get afraid and say those people won't accept me, that man won't accept me, let me go back to what I'm familiar with. I'll say, oh no, I'm just feeling nervous for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia said, challenge that negative self-talk, regulate your emotion, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't do it by yourself. And I'm going to share after Sonia finishes about next week's topic.
Oh yes. Well, very quick, to all our viewers, I want to thank you all first and foremost for joining us today. And if you weren't able to join us because you were working or any other obstacles that might have been on your way of being able to be on our live, remember you can always go back. And if you're viewing our live tonight and you think that somebody can benefit from this, remember to share and subscribe and hit that like button, ladies. So let me give you a little short up very quick, since we were speaking about thriving beyond trauma, a guide to overcoming obstacles and cultivating resilience in 2024. I just want to say that I want you all to empower yourself with this resilient solutions, turning obstacles into stepping stones on your journey of thrive beyond trauma in 2024, ladies. So in this closing segment, I just want to tell you all that I'm going to give you some information on building resilience with I'm going to provide you with some tips as well. Okay. So building resilience, remember, it involves developing coping mechanisms and strategies to adapt, and bounce back from challenges or adversities. Here are some steps to help you build resilience. So, like Natalie was saying, we're talking about breathing everything, but let me give you some. So, if you want to write them down, take note of them. Let me tell you, the first one I this one of my favorites is self awareness. I always say self awareness. Understand your strength and your weakness. Recognize your emotions and reactions to stressful situations. Okay, so self awareness, ladies. The second one is maintain a positive outlook. Okay, maintain a positive outlook. Focus on positive aspects of your life and try to find meaning or opportunities for growth in challenging situations. Okay,
Mhm.
another one is accept change. And this is one of the biggest one where we always find it. I always feel like this one of the biggest obstacles that we may um, come upon, which is accepting change. Embrace change as a natural part of life and understand that setbacks are temporarily, ladies. They're temporary. It's
Mhm.
okay. We're gonna get through them. We're gonna get through them together. That's why we're here. We want to help you get through those. Come up with a plan and come up with solutions that we can work so we can move beyond our past
Yes.
traumas and any setbacks that are in our way of pursuing our goals and dreams and our purpose in our
There you
purpose in
go.
life. Okay. And the last but not least, well, I still got two more. The other one was set realistic goals. Setting realistic goals. Come on, we can't go from here to we want to go all the way over there. Let's set realistic goals. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying we just talk about stepping stones. Come on, let's
Yes.
do this so we can move forward. So set realistic goals. Break tasks into manageable steps and celebrate small achievements along the way. So if you say I'm going to do this goal and you do it, celebrate yourself. Give yourself that take you out to eat. Um
Yeah.
Put it on your Facebook, put a post. If you're doing the walk, take a picture, do a small video, share it with your friends. Celebrate yourself because you deserve it. So set realistic goals. And the last but not least, develop a problem solving skill. Learn to
Mm.
identify and tackle problems proactively. So that's what I'm just wanted to share right now, Natalie. So I want to share this with the ladies because I think it's very important that we not just throw all these solutions and tips, but we also want to give them something that they know they're realistic goals, they're realistic tools and
Mhm.
techniques that we can use that work if we put them to practice.
Right.
So there's no obstacle out there, ladies, that can stop us from achieving our goals. But our
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah. Awesome.
Break free
Awesome.
from that mindset.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Sonia, for an amazing show. So, ladies, if you haven't watched our other lives in the month of December, go on the She's Taking a Life Back channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to build our channel. We're trying to build us up. So subscribe and hit the notification bell because it'll notify you when we go live or when we upload a video. So we're preparing you for the month of December. Everything that Sonia says, wonderful tips. But in the month of January, we're going to actually begin to show you how to achieve goals, like she said, step by step, how to identify a realistic goal. What is a realistic goal? We're going to actually begin to teach you becoming in January. So December, we're preparing you. So review all these lives in December, and it'll get you ready for the journey. Right? So let's talk about next week's topic. I'm just so excited. This is our last live in the month of December before we move into the new year. And next week's topic is journeying together, the transformative power of trauma-informed accountability partnerships. So
Oh,
important. If you go back over the lives, you'll hear Sonia talk a lot about them. She talked about it today. Developing support. Get a support system. Don't try to do this by yourself because we're going into new territory. We're going into the uncomfortable. So don't do it by yourself. But what makes it special about the partnerships we're talking about is they're going to be trauma informed accountability partners. Because we're talking about women who experience trauma. So it has to be specific to what we have been through. So, as we gear up for a transformative year ahead,
Mhm.
it's a necessity for impactful change to become undeniable. So get those accountability partners. So join us next week for a conversation that can shape your path in 2024. Accountability partners. In our upcoming episode, we're not just discussing the importance of accountability partner, we're providing guidance on how to find yours. So tune in to explore the role of the partnerships and how it's going to shape your life in the next phase of your life. Discover the vital steps in finding your perfect accountability partner as we step into 2024. Our discussions will include actionable insight for selecting that right partner, like I said, because we don't just want to grab anybody because we like you. We want to make sure they're informed and they can support you and they're on the same journey like you to go into their next. Plus, as a special gift, we'll be offering a free downloadable worksheet during the show. And this worksheet is designed to assist you in finding your ideal accountability partner. So don't miss our episode, right? So join us in understanding why finding your partner now in December is crucial for your upcoming chapter. So get ready for transformation. And thank you all for being here today. Remember, securing an accountability partner is your passport to success in 2024. So join us next week for the insight as we redefine your journey. Thank you for joining us this night. On this night.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Thank you for joining. You all have a great night and happy Merry Christmas. And we'll see you tune in for this new year because she's taking her life back. It's gonna be live on New Year's Eve, right, Natalie? We are
Yes,
going
we
to have
are.
New Year's
Yes.
Eve, so we'll be doing
Yes.
the countdown.
Yes, we will. All right. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night.